As Christmas and New Year's approaches, we know what that means. Everybody is rushing around. More accidents happen in these months than any other time of year. And today we're going to talk about what to do if the person who causes the accident leaves the scene and the top 10 things to do after that accident. We are here today with Jeff Kelley, a motorcycle rider for 30 years and an attorney with Harding and Associates. He's been practicing for 25 years. Welcome back. It's cold, it's icy out there. We were just talking about all the accidents that happen this time of year. The first thing that we're going to talk about is with icy roads, what happens if someone runs you off the road? There is no contact between your car and the motorcycle, but you're run off the road.
Well, in this type of year, of course, it'd more likely be a car.
Yes.
But it's so often the case with a motorcycle is that you might have
true. No one's going to be out in a motorcycle.
Not
right
today,
now.
probably,
No.
but we do ride typically all year round here in Colorado. We have so much sunny days. Anyway, the at-fault car may be long gone. We refer to them as basically a phantom driver. They caused the accident, didn't actually have contact with the motorcycle or the car, but clearly were at fault.
Yeah, so what happens if you never had any contact? Can you still recover financially or contact insurance?
Yes, and let me tell you how. We have talked on the show many times before about UIM coverage.
Right.
And we talk about looking to your own policies for that type of coverage when the at-fault driver is no longer around. We actually also can look to other policies that may apply, and we have talked about stacking in the past, where if you do have the at-fault driver, we actually have about 4 potential policies that you could recover from.
Yeah.
If you can find the at-fault driver, then you would look to that driver of that car, the owner of the car. Might be 2 different policies that could apply to that. If those first 2 are not available, such as the phantom driver situation, then you would look to your own UM coverage on your car or your motorcycle. That's uninsured or underinsured coverage. And then finally, there might be a resident relative in your home that has a policy UIM coverage that could actually apply to that situation.
Okay.
So you could stack those potentially or rely on those that, the last 2 if there's not the other person around.
Okay, all right, let's move on to what you do after an injury. We have some information that's going to come up on the screen talking about kind of those steps that we take. So let's start with the first one. Number 1, get witnesses and numbers.
Yes, on this graphic we talk about you do want to get witness names and numbers. You do want to take pictures of the accident scene, the vehicles involved, and you know the cause of the injury if you can isolate that photographically.
Like a bruise or a scar?
Well, you know, there might be an airbag that deployed.
Oh, I see.
It might
on
be
your car. Okay.
the type of accident that occurred. A photograph of the vehicles are going to really be worth a lot of value in the case later.
A picture says more than words,
right? There you go. And of course, if your injuries, bruising, scarring, you want to take, document that. With pictures. Do see your doctor, of course, if you're injured. And really importantly, you've really got to follow your doctor's orders and keep a pain log because these cases go on for many months, sometimes years, as someone's recovering. And you might not remember 2 years later how you felt 3 weeks after the accident.
And I'm going to bring this up. So many people have actually contacted us and said, you know, we watch these segments and it happened to me just yesterday and I had all these things go through my mind. You never think it's going to happen to you, but these steps are really great to know, you know, before you do get in an accident. All right, the don'ts. We're going to go through the don'ts. Tell me about those.
We have another graphic on that. And we've talked about these in the past, but we definitely like to underscore these things. Do not talk to the other side's insurance company without an attorney. Do not sign any medical or other releases to allow access to your information. Do not send medical bills to the other insurance company unless the paid amount has been redacted. And we've talked about that. You only have to show the billed amount, not the paid that your insurance company may have paid, because that's the collateral source rule. Again, we've talked about that many times. It protects the injured party to maintain privacy on that type of information. And do not enter into any kind of a settlement until you've reached maximum medical improvement. We refer to that as MMI. And do not settle your case unless you know whether or not there's any subrogation claims.
There's that word again, subrogation.
Right, and we've talked about that is Medicare could be your own health insurance, and they would have a lien. So you have a settlement. If you're not realizing that you're going to have to pay back your own health insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, et cetera, then you're going to have to take that out of your settlement to pay them. You're going to be obligated to pay that.
And you give us such great tips every week, but really the best thing to do if somebody is involved in an accident is to just call Harding and Associates, Jeff Kelley and Phil, who's on here other weeks. So if you want to get more information, and if you have any question for Jeffrey or Phil Harding or anyone from their legal team, go to coloradosbest.tv and send those questions. He will answer each question personally. And if you would like to contact a member of the legal team at Harding and Associates, their number is 303-762-9500, and you can go online at hlaw.org. Coming up on